It's Big Vedo and I'm chilling with Street Certified TV.
All right, we got Big Vedo in the house.
What's up with you, man?
Shit, man, getting it in, brother. Just another day. Of course, we're here with Street Certified TV, which is, you know what I'm saying, it's an honor. So, I always like, as far as us as a publication, I always love the readers to understand, like, the stage name. So, how did Big Vedo become the stage name to your career?
Alright, so it came about from the movie The Godfather, Vito Corleone. So, motherfuckers used to call me Vito Corleone when I was locked up or whatever, you know, that's the name. They called me Vito, you know what I'm saying? And when I started fucking with the music and shit, I just kind of went with the Vito, you know what I'm saying? And just replaced it with the E.
Gotcha.
Spelled it different.
Okay. And so, like, in terms of music, what would you say you got your start, or what at least inspired you to kind of get into the direction of being an artist?
I kind of grew up around music, or grew up listening to music, you know, Bay Area music, all types of music. So, you know, them influences kind of got me in the direction of wanting to do music, you know, like jotting around rhymes here and there, you know what I'm saying, not really too much rapping as a kid, but like, you know, messing around a little bit. And as I got older, I kind of, you know, rapped on prison yards and shit like that, and, you know, at parties and shit, house parties and shit like that, and kind of doing like that. But to overall, to actually do actual music, you know, I came across a lady named Maybach, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, she heard me spit some shit, and just was like, you know, this is something that you should think about doing. And from a lot of my early influences, I got, you know, I got a way that I present my music, you know what I mean, how I put my bars together or whatever. So, yeah, she seen that vision from me, and that's what kind of got me to doing the music.
Huh. So when would you say you laid your first song?
I did my first song my first song as an artist, me, Big Vedo, in 2019. I think 2019. Wow. Yeah. I had did some features before then, you know, some years ago. I did some features with Under Surveillance a long time ago, and then I had did a tape with a group called Black Picket Fences.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we did like I want to say like a little 4-song tape.
So it's safe to say, basically, like, you've always rapped.
I always.
But as far as you getting actually into the recording of your own stuff, it was 2019.
2019 is when I actually just was, this what I'm doing. And, you know, I felt like that was my first time actually being in the booth. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I had recorded before, that's when because it was just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't no feature or nobody else. It was just me. So yeah.
That's definitely an impeccable story when you think about, like, because, like, that's a trip, right? It's like there's so many artists out there that have yet to unveil their own talent to the world that, like, because, like, for me growing up, like, Bo Strangles was that for me.
Right.
Like, I grew up and I was like, damn, he's tight.
Right.
And I'd like, and before I even knew I was going to be in music, I just was, what was the word? Like, fascinated with, like, rappers that rapped that nobody knew rapped.
Right.
But they were hella doper than a lot of the people that you hear trying to rap.
Right.
And so you'll be like, fuck, like, why don't this guy do what this guy's doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you start thinking like that, you know what I'm saying? So there's so many rappers out there that, like, are slept on because they never really put themselves out to the format. But, like, you know, just looking at your catalog, like, yeah, for you to be starting at 2019 and to be, have that feel of, like, what's that word? Like, fully developed artist is interesting.
cliche.
Yeah, because normally I feel like it takes a decade to get that feel. But when you've been sharpening your sword in that regard for so long, that like that's probably easy for you. Like the rapping part's probably easy for you.
That's what it was too. Like the rapping part was easy, but the comfort part was I had to work into that. Like Debo, shout out to Debo. Debo had he brought me into the studio, you know, and he was like the first person to take me to the studio, and I was just kind of
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Matt God Debo.
Matt God Debo, man.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him, man. He threw me right in there, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, and these, you know, he had artists in there that was, you know, they was familiar with the, you know, the ways of the studio and how to, you know, the recording and all that. And, you know, I just knew how to rap, you know what I'm saying? So, like, going from that day, just thinking about that day, I just went in there and just rapped. You know what I'm saying? And when I came out, it was just like man, that nigga was rapping, but you know,
yeah.
I had to learn the different nuances of craft and
right, getting your voice right and
yeah.
really filling in like the song with your voice in
right.
a sense.
Cadence and
right, the delivery,
all that stuff. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but to learn it so fast, like in the new song you got Bombardment, like in my opinion, you know, Lil Blood is like, I feel like for a long time like he was slept on, but I don't feel that way now. I don't think he's slept on. I think people have watched Livewire evolve in a decade, and so every artist has gotten their own shine and their own different accolades for being artists under that era. You know what I'm saying? And those perks are only going up. They're not going down. Like, they have a huge catalog, so it's like they're going to forever go back to all those albums through time, and eventually those whole catalogs will all get a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying?
That was a huge feature for me, because when I first even thought about even doing this stuff, it was like he was one of the dudes who, in my head, was like I love to do something with Blood, like with sound. Like, I think that, you know what I mean? Like, that sound, you know what I mean? Like, he was for sure.
He raps the truth. Like, that's the thing about him too. Is like I was trying to put him in a category with another artist from Vallejo, like when it come to respect or whatever. But like, I feel like Blood is even more than that. Like, you know what I mean? Because he really represents like the heart of the Bay Area in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
He give me that mob music.
And to be honest with you, like. He's damn near like our Lil Boosie in a way, like, cause they love Lil Boosie, they respect Lil Boosie, like, you know what I mean. So in a lot of ways, like, Blood does have that kind of love, you know, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? At least on this side of the world, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That was for sure a huge feature for me, just because, like I said, he was somebody who I listened to. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's not too many people I actually just listen to. Like, he's somebody who I listen to. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I shot a video for him and Shady Nate called "Waking Them Up."
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like,
Shady, another one. Shout out Shady.
Yeah, shout out to Shady Nate, man.
For sure.
So, you got some compilations.
Yeah.
Tell us about your compilations. I know you're like 2 for 2 in a sense.
Yeah, I got the first one was Thirtification, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1 is it got some good, nice jingles on there. You know what I'm saying? Real music. You can hear the grit. You know what I'm saying? You can hear the grit in that, and it's some various artists on there.
Okay.
From around my neighborhood. I'm from the 30s in East Oakland, so you know.
That's what inspired the title.
Yeah, the title was inspired by me coming back out of prison to my neighborhood, and just kind of like seeing my neighborhood like a little bit all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like either these dudes wasn't fucking with these dudes, or these dudes didn't, you know. And it was just like a lot of that. But you know, I always, you know, our neighborhood always been a kind of like unified neighborhood. We always fucked with each other. So, you know, I was trying to see if I could bring that
Energy
format
back.
you know what I'm saying, without too much like being the OG coming home from the pen type shit.
Right.
Because these, they younger dudes, they still men, so they, as men we had the pride thing going on, so you want to kind of not really cater to a motherfucking ego, but you gotta find the medium
middle
where you can do the communication. You know what I'm saying? Communication, everything. So we developed the dialogue, and you get something, man. I figured that the best way that I could do that is I can use a cheat code like through music. You know what I'm saying? I seen it. Either they all did some form of music or they liked music. So that's how 30fication came about. It was like a unification of the 30s. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of like put that word together. And put that together. We got, myself, Vinny Doe, Bag Life, T-Ran, just a lot of dudes from, our neighborhood on there. And then got Value 2, 30fication Value 2. A lot of the same artists, a couple other artists, 30 Boy and Blaster is actually on that project too.
Okay.
A song called 3x3. And then I got Welcome to Baghdad, Value 1 and Value 2. And those projects came about from the, let's say, the reincarnation of our neighborhood. We kind of reinvented ourselves over in the 30s with the Baghdad movement. And, we started putting it into the music, So we got Value 1 and Value 2. Value 2 is the last project that I put out as far as a compilation.
Baghdad music too?
Yeah, Welcome to Baghdad, Value 2.
Okay.
And that got 25 tracks on there, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's a lot of artists on there, various artists on there from around the neighborhood. Some of them incarcerated now, you know what I'm saying, as we speak, for, various reasons. And, so, people go download that project, go listen to that, man, and support them dudes, But, yep. So, yep, I got both of those compilations and those series going. And probably towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, I'll probably be doing Value 3 on both of those projects, Yeah.
That's dope. So, you got Go Off.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like for me, I'm constantly like with people I know and how I know them and all that shit. Like, I still like music for me to be like organically loved.
Sure.
Feel me? And so I think all of us as like music fans, we really do like especially people that love underground music. Like, we like listening to underground music more than, listening to Rick Ross's new album or some shit.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
You feel a little better about streaming it. There's something about it. Like, it feels more like, you really putting somebody in a position there, because if you do become a fan of them, you're going to start sharing them and doing the shit that you do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I would say that you definitely had, like, because they had the Go Off challenge.
Right.
And that Go Off challenge, like, I remember a lot of people got on that beat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you slayed that one.
That's how the song even came about. Like, somebody told me to do the challenge. Like, and I was doing it by myself, like the song.
Yeah.
It wasn't even supposed to be a song. I just did the challenge, and I put the challenge up.
Was that the same verse?
That was the same verse.
Wow.
And
so you got a reaction from that?
Yeah, that's what made me even do the song. Like, I put the verse up on Instagram, like, for the challenge, and it just was like, the feedback was like crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you had a strong verse on there.
Yeah. And I went and recorded it. And the day I went to record it, I had my folks with me, and he was like, "Man, let me get on that," And I was just like, "Come on." My nigga Baghdad Bond, shout out Baghdad Bond. But when we got on that thing, we you know what? We recorded it and shot the video the same day.
Huh.
All in the same day. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah. It was one of them.